The views expressed on the Convo Lounge do not reflect the views of our current employers or our future employers.
What up, everybody? Thank you for listening to the Convo Lounge with your hosts, Amir Anthony, Shar Rochelle, and Antonio Crow. Nice to be back with you guys today. And we're going to have a free flowing show. We're going to start out with the question of the day. And the question of the day, among other things, is are women turned on by men that know how to cook? What do you guys think?
I like the intro.
So he had like a serious newscaster face with it when he first signed on.
Yeah.
Antonio Crow, Channel 7 News. Live.
Right. You are now to the Convo Lounge. Gosh, very CNN. Like I was like, what is he about to ask us? Woo wee, dumb women.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I guess since I'm the only woman, I mean, you guys can respond from a place of cooking for women, but I'm definitely turned on by men who cook. Partially because, and this may sound a little weird, but my father's a cook. So that was the way that he showed and expressed love by cooking meals. And I learned how to cook from my dad. So any man who cooks for me, I feel like that's his way of like showing me that he loves me. And plus I love food. So if you feed me.
That's what's up. I'm going to say women are turned on by men that can cook. I mean, I love to get down in the kitchen. I love to share what I'm doing. I know Char will be getting on me about my plate presentation. I'm still working on that. But for the most part, I like to get down, show off. And, my favorite, I got to go back to my movie Love Jones. When he was in the kitchen making that omelet, shirt off, you know what I'm saying? That's what I like, whip it up, do my thing, show off, put on the apron, get busy, let you taste it.
Put on the apron? You put on the apron?
Yeah, bro, I got my Lakers and Dodger aprons, man.
Wow. That's what's up.
Yeah. You gotta represent. Gotta represent in the kitchen and at all times. I'm a hardcore fan with it.
That's fandom land right there.
Yeah, I think men that cook add a little flavor to the relationship. I guess historically women are, have been in the kitchen. But through trades, a lot of men have started becoming colonists. So when they are able to, embrace that, to be the home colonist is kind of cool because typically men are the barbecuers in families, right?
True.
So women like, when you going barbecue? Like I'm not a barbecuer, so I never give anybody that experience. But as far as I can hook up a couple dishes. So it's always a pleasure.
Antonio, what's your signature dish?
Breakfast. I like to make breakfast.
Okay. So when you want to impress a guest, like what's on the menu?
Oh dang. Well, I could eggs, eggs with like an egg scramble,
Okay.
Everything else doesn't really require a lot of chopping and, so.
Okay, I'm gonna piggyback off of what Antonio said. Grilling is definitely my specialty.
Yeah, see.
If anyone has seen me get down on the grill, like my grilling is no joke. Especially when I'm like doing different dry rubs and everything, letting it marinate. You know what I'm saying? Like the preparation for it. Then you always gotta have like a little something to sip on next to the grill, just to kind of add a little bit, be in your element, get your music playlist going. And then for me, when it comes to breakfast, I like to switch it up. Like I can do I love fresh food, like fresh. Like I know sometimes, quick and easy is the way to go. But it's nothing like chopping up some onions, some bell peppers, some potatoes with a little skin on it, throwing in the skillet. Maybe a little cheese grits, some shrimp, Every now and then I'll dibble and dabble into the swine, you know, do a little bacon, or even sometimes I might just do a breakfast burrito from scratch, or I might do French toast, or just go full out brunch style.
That's what's up. Okay, full out brunch.
So it depends on how I'm feeling, you know, and who I'm entertaining. But it's nothing like having like a bomb breakfast spread, and then, you know what I'm saying, you good. But the grilling thing, I love to grill though. And we got it good. We spoiled in SoCal. We can grill any time of the year. People be having grills in the wintertime.
That's true.
Right.
But I feel like men get away with thinking they know how to cook just based on breakfast alone. I'm talking about dinner. Like,
Right.
what meals are you guys chefing up in the kitchen?
Okay, so I'm just now starting to get used to doing the crock pot thing. The crock pot is my friend. Okay, hold it. Hear me. Hear PP. Like,
All right. So, okay, imagine you're trying to impress a young lady.
right.
What are you making for her? Y'all might have to call me if y'all want to cook, and I can give y'all some meal ideas.
I mean, you can do a pasta. You can do a pasta with chicken, pesto pasta.
Pesto.
You know what I'm saying? You like, I don't know if you make mashed potatoes, not with the pasta, but you could do like a meat. You could do a vegetable, and you could do what else?
I'm gonna say shrimp scampi. My shrimp scampi. I've actually done my shrimp scampi, and then get the fresh Parmesan. You know what I'm saying? Then you get a little white wine to pair it. Maybe get like some like garlic, some kind of garlic bread, garlic. You know, shout out to Trader Joe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might be a harsh critic though, because again, like I said, my dad was a cook for a living and he cooked my entire life. So I would be the hardest woman to impress when it comes to cooking a meal for me. But
I mean, you could do pasta and salad.
I appreciate effort though. I appreciate effort.
Yeah, a lot of stuff is out the box.
At the end of the day, I'm not here to compete with Emerald Lagasse. I'm not here to compete with Wolfgang Putt. You know, when you come in over to my place, you are now, you know, entertained by, you know, Chef Double A. You know what I'm saying? And I'm about to whip it up. And if it's gonna have plenty of flavor. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have fun and be entertained at the same time when I'm in the kitchen, because it's all about the experience.
There we go.
Too. Salmon. Oh, salmon. Salmon is also another one of my go-tos. Like, I actually made a dish one time, and it was like salmon without the shrimp scampi, but it's like the actual, like the butter, the lemon, the garlic, fresh garlic, minced garlic, and then some bomb salmon. Get that dry. I remember one time Antonio came through to the crib one time. We was chilling, and I think it was football season. Antonio rolling. He's like, man, what you doing on the grill, man? He was like, man, I was like, bro, I'm trying to get these. I think, what was I making? Chicken wings or something?
Yeah, I remember that.
And then he was like, man, you put in brown sugar or something on it. He was like, yeah, man, I got to get the caramelization on the wings. Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? You always got to have a brew or something, like a nice cold brew or like some bomb whiskey while you on the grill. I love the grill though. Oh man, I love the grill.
Yeah, I think that as we cook for ourselves and for others, that is a way to show our love, right?
Agreed.
When you present a meal to someone that you worked over, you're showing a good form of love.
Yeah, so that's one of the best labors of love. Shout out to all the men who've cooked for me.
Yeah,
y'all know who y'all are.
That's what's up. So cooking can low key, like, it's actually a love language because it's part of acts of service, right?
Love
that is true. Yeah, that is true.
Actually, I think that is, like, you know how you do the test and it's like gives you like your top 5 or whatever. I believe service was like underneath words of affirmation, if I'm not mistaken. So there we go.
Nice.
There we go.
That's what's up. And then you can even use it as quality time if you guys cook together. If quality time is your love language, you can cook with your partner, have your partner there while you cook, and then boom, there goes quality time.
I love collaboration. Collaboration opportunities are always dope in the kitchen too.
I
especially.
just like to watch. I just like to watch how she move in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? See, you know.
Keep in mind, Antonio, we were talking about, does a man
Oh
who knows how
yeah,
to cook turn a woman on?
yeah,
You gotta entertain, brother. You gotta have the playlist. You gotta have the playlist, and then you gotta have something for them to sip on while you getting busy, and then they can
oh
see.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then she like, ooh, you doing it? What you doing? And then they'll come in and they'll try to get like a little sneak peek around. She's like, hey, back up. It's getting hot in here, you know?
Take
Yeah.
that apron off.
I'm trying. Yeah, you gotta put the apron on, bro. I'm telling you, man. Man, you know I got the Dodger apron.
Oh yeah, I'm not tripping. Hey, you remember when Ludacris had that video? I don't remember the song. Dang. And he had young lady in the kitchen with a bikini on or something and heels and all that with the apron on.
Was it Make Love to Me?
Probably. Let me search that. That was kind of interesting.
Now the kitchen could actually. Okay, so I think for us as men, the kitchen is kind of like the prelude to like the next level in the relationship, right? Because I think all women, if you were to take a poll and they was like, what are like certain things in the men that you like enjoy, or like certain attributes, and if cooking, I'm pretty sure cooking would be like high on the list because it's showcasing that because there's love in cooking. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you like get busy and actually know what the hell you're doing. So like for me, I remember my sister asked me, she was like, Amir, how you learn how to cook like that? I was like, first of all, I love to eat. I love food. And I watched like grandmother. I watched the
Mm-hmm.
aunts. I watched my mom, you know what I'm saying? And then like you put your own spin and twist on it. Cause like there's times when there's like certain items, I'm like, I'm short this particular like season or this particular item, like baking powder or whatever it is. My mom be like, oh, just grab this and grab that. And you go, or flour or whatever the case is, whatever you need to make that meal. It's nothing like, getting that extra incentive. But I just learned through trial and error, you know what I'm saying? Then just living on my own for so long, you know what I'm saying? You gotta like step your game up and graduate. Everything can't be no frozen meal. You know what I'm saying? Can't
Right.
be hey brothers, don't be cooking no frozen meal for your lady, man. It ain't the business. Plus it got a lot of sodium in it.
Too much sodium. Stay
And
away from processed meals.
And if you don't know, then check out our last episode, What the Health.
Exactly.
What the-
Exactly. Which is another benefit to cooking, you know what I mean? Because you have control over what you're putting in your meals, the amount of salt, the vegetables, all of those things. Like you have that control and that authority. So I strongly advocate for home cooked meals.
Yeah, what I took away from what happened last episode is that food is supposed to give us energy. It's not supposed to make us tired. I thought that was
Mhm.
pretty profound.
That's yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it truly is our fuel. You know what I mean? I don't know if she used the analogy. Shout out to Valerie, but I don't know if she used the analogy of, food to humans is like gas to a car. It's supposed to give you energy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you can't put Arco gas in a Maserati and
Nah,
expect it to perform at its highest potential.
Right.
right. That's a good one. I like that analogy. Nah, facts. That's facts. That's facts right there. You know what I'm saying? You are what you eat. You eat what you can.
Mhm.
Before you bless with food, you gotta wash your hands. Shout out to Nas. But nah, yeah, that's a Nas lyric.
Yeah.
Nah, but you definitely gotta, do your thing. But yeah, from the grocery store run, I'm old school. I like to write my grocery list on the notepad when I go to the grocery store. You know what I'm saying?
That's tight.
Yeah, I'll get my notepad or a little sticky note right down. Cause here's my thing. I'm the kind of shopper, I'll get in the grocery store and low key buy things that ain't on the list. Then I
Mhm.
get back to, I'm like, damn, I didn't forgot like half of the damn list. So
Yeah.
I try to like really, and like shout out to Target and all other stores that allow you to do pickup or, the drive-through service so that you can actually go on their app, put in what you need. And one, we're still in the pandemic, so you escape being around other people. Two, you can have a list of things that you truly need and not things that you want. And then you actually get priority too. So for those that are short on some of their, PPE items or their or whatever the case is, bleach, wipes, whatever. Like I tend to realize that the inventory is actually available early on the app first dib. So be mindful of that. It's a little
Yeah.
something.
Oh, another PPE life hack. So everyone has been telling me during this whole pandemic, like you got to get up early, go to like your Targets or your Walmarts to get Lysol bleach or Lysol wipes. Here's the hack, y'all, because I'm not a morning person. By no means. I was born early. I realized it was overrated and it's just not for me.
Right.
Go to the store right before they close when they're about to stock their shelves. That's when you get all the items.
Yeah,
okay, I thought I was doing the opposite. I was going early in the morning, like when they open.
Everybody is. And then by the time somebody like me gets to the store at like 10 or 12 in the morning, it's all sold out. But if you get there before they even stock the shelves, you really get first dibs. Shout out to Harris Teeter and Navy Yard.
Yeah, I noticed that during the onset of COVID-19, when they were quarantining everyone and we had limited access to being out, I would go to Walmart, which I never really went to Walmart before COVID. I would go to Walmart like late night and they would be literally restocking. But shout out to Target because, on any day on Target, you walk up in there, you see all these ladies with, their yoga pants on. Looking bomb. It's like the best visuals ever.
Hey, what time in the day though do you actually see them though?
Bro, like you could go on Sunday, man. Sunday or after work, promise.
Wow. The joys of recording a podcast with men.
Like, I'm not gonna lie.
I wasn't ready for that one.
Nah, that's real talk though. You ain't gonna see that at Walmart, but definitely at Target.
Heck no, you ain't. You about to see bonnets and pajama pants at Walmart.
And then Walmart. Okay, so here's my Walmart hack. Walmart by far is like the store that I try to avoid by all means.
Yeah.
When I go there, it's for their low prices, and they actually have pretty good items for golf. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I actually need to go there today, but like my mom, will always call me like, going to your favorite store, Wally Walmart. I'm like, I can't stand that place. It's just like, ugh. But I got like that spot when I need to really grab something, I go early in the morning. I have to because I don't have the energy to deal with the people that work there or the people that are shopping.
Damn.
Move. Now, when I'm at Target, to Tory Point or Antonio Point, I'm straight. I'm up in there.
Strolling. Like Target is a whole experience. It's a whole experience. Not even like just it's like euphoria. Everybody's nice, it's clean, it's well lit. I go in for lotion, I leave out with $200 worth of stuff.
Right.
And I'm not mad about it.
And you happy.
Yeah.
And the thing is that they actually enhanced their shopping experience and added so much to their items. Like Targets are now grocery stores now, you know what I'm saying? And they got actually healthy items. You can get things like if I'm shopping for my nieces or nephew, I'm good. If I need a birthday card, if I need like anything that I need, I can go there and do it in one stop.
Like at one point it was also they sold music for a while too. And back in like maybe 10 years ago, I was walking in Target in Georgia and I heard Justin Bieber's first single. And sonically it sounded so good while I was walking through Target that I didn't even have Shazam or nothing like that. But then I walked into the radio department and I saw this like little kid with the little wild hair and shit. I'm like, I know he not, because he sounded like he black. He sounded like that first single for me was like, wow. But sonically they had it all figured out. They was playing it all over Target. It's like, damn.
Yeah, wait. I mean, how far did you get in Def U? Because this could be Justin Bieber's new name.
Oh wow, that is funny. Okay, so Dar, you're like the queen of like reality TV, in my opinion. And I love
I don't
Shar.
know if that's a good thing.
No,
But thank
like,
you.
no. The reason why I'm saying that is because you do a wonderful job in like your commentary on the shows. So Shar shouted out a few days ago this show called Deaf You, and I'm like, I feel guilty because I'm like, damn, like, what is it about? So I actually got into like I think 2 episodes on Friday, I believe.
Okay.
And I'm like, they're not kids. First of all, they're adults. They're young adults. You know, they're in college at a college in DC. How you say the name of the school again? You know, Gallaudet. Oh gosh, Gallaudet. Yeah. So I'm like, from like the way you explained the show was so accurate, and I was like, first of all, they got 2 young brothers on there that are straight up just living their best life, and then it's different. Like, I'm trying to be very politically correct with the the deaf community because I remember I actually had when I was in school in grad school I actually had a student from the deaf community in my cohort, so I learned a lot from him, right? So like watching the show, I'm like, yo, I wonder what he would think about the show because I feel like there's different parts of the deaf community that I never seen before, and like not all of the students are from like they're not full on like and once again I apologize for those that are from the community not
Hearing impaired.
they're not some of them are not hearing impaired, some are
like fully, some of them are like partially deaf,
right. And then like they're actually like and
there's like levels to it, like they have classism in a disability world. It's just it's interesting. Watch it for yourselves for sure.
Man, there's a demographic in each community, I guess. You said
Yeah.
classism. What did you say? Classism in a
like a disability realm. Yeah. It's you said that in our production meeting, like there's a demographic for everything. So that being said, I would love, just going back to our conversation about shopping, if there was a show based on Walmart shoppers, I would watch it. I would so watch it.
Wait, it's this guy that he recites rap lyrics and he goes up on people. Have you seen that?
Yes. Yes. Yo, I used to, my stepsister and I used to do that all the time when we were younger in Kmart in Bellflower. Do you remember that Kmart?
Yeah.
We used to do that. We used to roll up on people all the time and do it. Thank God nobody caught on or like beat us up. But
you know what's funny? I just thought about something. You realize like a lot of those pranks and those things typically take place in like Walmart. Like I've seen like videos will like mess up like a basketball player and they're like act like they're dribbling the ball and try to shake somebody. Or no, there's one and I seen this kid. He actually got hands put on him. He would go behind customers and would make like a moaning sound, like a woman sound. And this like the reactions of certain like people, and he would do it to men. Some of them were like, it was like, whoa, like, hey man, like then some were like, man, like, hey man, like he did it on a brother and he swung and put hands on him. I gotta send y'all the video. It's on Instagram. I was rolling, but it's like the things people do at stores, especially primarily Walmart. But yeah, if you are a Walmart customer, faithful customer, I do apologize, but I'm just not a fan. You got to go early in the morning, or you got to go late at night when they get their inventory in and they stock in the shelves. Because some Walmarts in areas are 24 hours, but I don't know, because of COVID, they probably like alternated that. But yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I try to like limit the amount of time that I go into that spot. Only if I need golf items though.
And their prices are so good. But another life hack, if you do shop Walmart, they do free shipping for orders over $40. And you can get your stuff in 2 days. So keep that in mind as well. But because every single time I slip up and I actually go into a Walmart, I regret it. I'm like, why did I do this? Why did I come here? It's just so ghetto.
I had a cashier one time. I had just got a new credit card and I used the chip. It has a chip function, the chip function. And I had all these items and it didn't read it, right? So I asked her, I'm like, oh, like, did the transaction go through? She was like, just swipe it again. I said, what? I said, excuse me. I said, hold on, you ain't gonna talk to me like that, first of all. I'm like, you must be having a bad day today. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm the customer, so you need to watch your tone. So I'm gonna put it in there again, but I need you to be like mindful that I'm the customer. Don't be talking to me like that. And she switched that up real quick. But I'm looking at her and I'm like, okay, she looked like she watch Duck Dynasty or something, you know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at her, I'm like, I'm fine with her, but at the same time, like, you ain't about to be talking to me all kind of way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, especially with everything going on right now, I'm like, you didn't came across the wrong brother. I don't know who you mix it up with. But you ain't about to tell me to put it back in. I'm like, this is my money.
Oh, clearly she wasn't Black.
Oh, nah. She probably watched Duck Dynasty and she's probably a fan of number 45. You know what I'm saying? And she just felt that because she wears a Walmart whatever vest with the happy face on it, that I'm like, damn, you may want to turn that happy face upside down because you actually ain't happy. You know what I'm saying?
The oxymoron of the brand. Everybody who works there hates it, and they seem like they hate their lives, but they got all these smiley faces everywhere.
Nah. Yeah, you definitely ain't getting the happy customer experience in that place at all whatsoever. And from what I've been told, they're no different than people that, I'm not trying to offend nobody, but Amazon is up on the list too of as far as how they treat their employees. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's another thing why I don't support them. My pops was a union man his whole entire work career, and Walmart is not a union, so that's another thing too. Like, that experience, they treat their employees like crap. So I mean, I get it, but don't be treating me like that because
right.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, telling me to put the card back in. It didn't. I'm like, yo. And the way she said it, it was like the tone. And I'm like, yo, yeah, not today.
Hey, we should go on Walmart and do the choco pelvic thrust with the belt buckles.
With the what?
With the belt buckles.
And the what?
You ain't seen that black dude that do the pelvic thrust with the belt buckles?
Nah.
No, but I would pay money to see you do that, Antonio.
Yeah,
I would pay real money.
Yeah.
We'll put the link. We'll drop the link in the show notes.
We'll put it in the show notes for y'all.
They need to do that in Walmart. It'll be a hit.
Well, you see a little bit of everything in Walmart, to be honest with you. But
more than you want to see. More than you want to see.
Yeah, that's true.
Man, yeah. Well, it's still early on the West Coast, so I think I might be able to slip in there real quick, grab up my items in the sports section over there.
But you said they had like good golf supplies, right? So that's cool.
Yeah, I was shocked. Actually, one of my boys was like, "Hey, man, I know you hate going to this store, but they low key got the best prices." And I'm like, "For real? They got golf stuff at Walmart?" Then I thought about it, I was like, they do got guns at Walmart, so it kind of makes sense that Walmart got guns. Oh, for sure.
I remember 2009.
Wow.
A training, and we all bought 42-inch Vizios for like $400.
Oh yeah. See, the thing is with them too, a lot of their stuff is like stuff from like it's like stuff that's been resold, or it's like aftermarket, or it's been like on the shelves for so long. The shelf life is older, right? So like a printer that you may buy at Walmart, it may be like the second or first generation of that particular model, where if you go to Best Buy, it's like the new, you know what I'm saying? So like when it comes to golf stuff, a lot of this stuff may be like refurbished, or it may just, be an item that, didn't really sell well, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's golf balls, golf tees, like I bought all kind of stuff. And I'm like, damn, I walked out, I had like 5 items and I spent maybe like $10. I was like, what? I was like,
Wow.
I was straight. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Well, they do have, they sell the chocolate chips that I use for my cookies at the lowest price. So I do frequent them for that too, because a lot of these grocery stores try to rob a sister for quality chocolate chips.
Man,
Yeah, nah, straight up, straight up. Shout out to Char's Cookie Jar all day.
I went in there. Yeah, shout out to Shar's Cookie Jar. I went in there looking for some compression shorts. They couldn't even find any.
Word?
Interesting.
Hey, compression shorts are the business though. I actually need to get some of those when I'm actually golfing, to be honest with you. Yeah, that's a good look. That's crazy.
I know. I was tripping out, but she tried to give me some boxer briefs.
Ah,
I'm
yeah.
like, those are briefs. Those are not compression shorts. Like it's Walmart though. I get it.
Ah, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You brought you back boxer briefs and it. Oh man, wow, that's all.
She pointed me to where they were at. It's like those are draws. Like I need some compression shorts.
Walmart, man. Boy, I tell you, they don't know. I don't think they do training on their store schematics.
At all. At all. There's like no product knowledge training that goes into it.
That's funny. Like you can actually, yeah, that actually would be a dope reality show on like Netflix. Like the Walmart exposed and like take like the happy face and kind of like mess it up some kind of way. And
Yep.
like kind of like have somebody as a secret shopper going to like various Walmarts across the country to share their experience.
Yeah, I would love that.
And then
Right.
like testimonials from the customers and actually the employees themselves, our former employees.
That would be dope.
That's the show pitch.
Yep.
Right. Write it up.
Any show creators,
I'll
pay
let-
my man for the idea.
yeah, for real, for real. Mm.
Crazy.
So I gotta say, you know, first of all, football season, right? I was telling Antonio earlier, I was like, man, I was like, the NBA did it right with their like COVID protocol. But I'm like, NFL is like failing. Like every day, there's like a new player. Our players, our coaches, our staff that is contracting COVID are having symptoms. And I'm like, man, y'all are,
Wow.
yeah. It's like, so like it's got to the point like the last few weeks we're in the 6th week of the NFL season, and you play 16 weeks, right? It's almost at the halfway point, and you've already had stoppage a couple weeks ago where teams had to stop all operations to accommodate, and they had to reschedule or postpone games, and you had games being played on Tuesday. I'm like, y'all making billions of dollars and y'all can't get this right.
That's grimy.
Yeah, it's even
Yeah,
at college ranks, it's being like crazy, like because you know coaches in the NFL, them dudes be old.
right.
Old.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They be like 60 plus years old, you know, contracting this stuff. And I'm like, y'all ain't like, there's a good show on HBO called Hard Knocks. It's a really good show. It's a documentary, and it documents like the team. So like this season, they did the LA Rams and the LA Chargers respectfully because they're both sharing stadium at SoFi out here in LA in Inglewood. So
Wait, y'all got 2 football teams now?
yeah, yeah.
Rams and the Chargers.
The San Diego Chargers moved up to LA a couple years back, and then the Rams came back from St. Louis to LA. So they back in LA again.
But I thought one of them left again.
Nope.
The Rams left in '95 to St. Louis.
No, I'm saying recently. Like,
The Chargers left San Diego and came back to LA, and then the Oakland Raiders
went to Vegas.
They went to Vegas, but Oakland, the Raiders were never LA. They were Oakland. Then they came to LA.
No, I know, but I didn't know that both the Rams and the Chargers were still there at the same time.
Oh yeah. So the Chargers basically were the original LA team back in the day, and then they moved to San Diego. I like to say like in the early 70s or something like that. And they've been out there since.
Too much.
But their fan base they weren't doing well with like sellouts or whatever. And then another thing was they wanted to move the stadium. It cost money to do all that. So basically the ownership was like, hey, we just gonna move the team up to LA. So they were playing in Carson at the soccer stadium.
Okay.
Until the new stadium was built. So remember where Hollywood Park Casino used to be in England.
In Inglewood, right? Oh, y'all are both muted.
Right. No. Yeah, right. So that location, they like cleared all of that, and they put the in there, and it's dope though. Next time, when you haven't seen it when you flew in?
I saw it as I was flying in, but I wasn't sure where it was.
Oh yeah. And then the Forum is still there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But like that whole area where everything used to be, they built that whole thing. So both teams are playing there. So to my point, the show Hard Knocks actually showcased both teams. But I liked it because you got a chance to see how teams are coping with the pandemic, and they actually like they had their own medical staff. Players had like these wristbands that like can detect if you have some symptoms, and they would like scan each person upon entry at all of their facilities that they were using. And then training camp was actually shortened to accommodate the pandemic. So I'm like, okay, but that's just two teams. So my theory is that I don't think all the teams were doing the protocols that the NFL had mandated. And that's why you've seen players maybe, getting it. Because it's like not just play like a player, it's like players, like, yeah.
Wow.
Like every week.
I think their health department is not doing a good job. And they need to cross-train those kinesiologists to be up on the COVID-19 concerns.
You mean epidemiologists?
Say it again?
Epidemiologists?
They need to cross-train their kinesiologists to be up on what's happening with their athletes with COVID.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're saying. The kinesiology.
You know what I'm saying? They need to cross-train them because at the end of the day, they got to keep the team healthy. And I'm sure, the teams, they have doctors and whatnot, but they're like sports doctors. But in the climate of COVID, they need to be cross-trained.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they are to some degree, but when we look at the statistics today where people are catching COVID on the football field, in the football arena, yeah, they need to hurry up and pay attention.
Yeah.
And then another trippy part is that certain states are allowing teams to have full fans. Not full, but like a small percentage of fans. Yeah. I know, Sean. It's crazy.
I cannot. America is so ghetto right now. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen that meme saying that America is like the third world country person in a Gucci belt and a fake Gucci belt. That's who we are. We are so cheap.
We're doing everything backwards, like facts. And it's these governors in these states. It's all about money. These governors in these states like Texas, Florida, you know what I'm saying? They're allowing fans to come to these games. California's like, nah, hell no. Y'all ain't having no fans. Like, no fans at the game. So, like, the Chargers and Rams, no fans at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, they shut, like, Governor Newsom is like, nah, we ain't about to be having no fans at no games. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For money like that. But, yeah, like, even watching, shout out to my Dodgers, they playing, so baseball, instead of their postseason, you typically play at your home stadium. So they had their own condensed bubble, and they played in Dallas and then LA and San Diego, respectively. And by doing that, they allowed teams to be in a controlled environment. But recently, Texas has allowed fans to be at the game. So I'm watching the game the other night, and I'm like, is those fans? They have actually fans at the Texas stadium. So I'm like, no. People that I would not, as big of a sports fan I am, there's no way in the world I would want to see a live sporting event that's the wrong place to be at.
Are the Washington Nationals still playing? Because I don't I live near their stadium, but I don't see anything going on. So I just assumed baseball season was over.
Oh no, yeah, they didn't make it to the postseason this year.
Okay.
But yeah, you guys and y'all won last year though.
Yeah, it was. I hated my life that night.
Beat us to make it.
Oh my gosh, the neighborhood went crazy.
Yeah.
It was so annoying. So annoying.
I was the first for that. Not for the the franchise originally came from Montreal. They were the Montreal Expos. Then they moved to DC and became the Nationals.
I'm surprised you haven't shouted out your Lakers yet.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna wait until sound off to do that.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
My bad.
I'm saving it. I'm keeping it in the chamber. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Oh gosh, it's about to be a pew 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 pew. Then.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Golly.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, so Pete, Q, brother Ice Cube.
Man.
Brother.
Man, I said in the previous episode that I didn't think that it was time for him to be speaking on it. I think we kind of all agreed that it wasn't time. But then as the story developed, I think all Ice Cube really wanted was to leverage his vote to receive something. He's trying to receive something for a vote. So he's just trying to leverage some power. But at the end of the day, yes, our vote matters for the propositions. Yes, we're supposed to register with the census, but the electoral college is who decides who the president is going to be. Mm-hmm. So with knowing all of that, Ice Cube still decides to have his voice be heard, and that's very profound. But how does it really translate to the community, the Black community, which he speaks to, and then being pre-election, his voice is really it's a confusing tone at this moment, unfortunately. And I respect him for speaking up because Tavis Smiley, where he at? Cornel West, where he's at? So Ice Cube is the person speaking up, Mr. F the police. But it's just not the time. And even if they address it and try to change it, they're not going to do anything until the election. So the Democrats had their stance. The Democrats had their stance like, let's wait. So Ice Cube was like, F that. But the 45 in them is like, oh yeah, he want to speak. That's ratings. That's Ice Cube. He's a rebel. Let's talk to him. Let's confuse the community. Mm-hmm. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. So in Ice Cube's defense, I think he responded the way that any Black America responded, except for he has a platform and a voice where he can actually be heard. He didn't do anything different from the rest of us. We were all triggered in a real way after George Floyd. So yes, the timing may seem off from a political standpoint, but I think he just had that awakening like many Black Americans had, where it's just like, what the F is going on? We need solutions. So from that standpoint, I definitely see where he's coming from.
Right.
It was just too egregious for anybody to sit quiet. So He used the platform.
So I'm like kind of like in the middle with it. You know what I'm saying? To you guys' point, like the timing. But the thing is like behind closed doors, we don't know who he was chatting and having those conversations with. And I had a chance to watch him appeared on Roland Martin's Unfiltered show episode that was a couple of days ago. And the thing is like Q is always going to be an entertainer, a rapper, entrepreneur at the end of the day. But I get that he's using his platform and he presented a plan. Now, I know Roland Martin did his job to kind of like fact check on that the Congressional Black Caucus actually had similar items that he proposed in his contract with Black America. And Roland Martin was just like, hey, this is what we're doing, what you're doing, and here's what the Congressional Black. Then he had Elisa Garza, I believe her name is, and she was kind of challenging Cube. And I'm like, yo, this ain't the time for the divide. Why don't we all just work together? And she's 20 years in the game, and she was like really trying to challenge Cube. I'm like, and Cube was like, you've been in the game for 20 years, and I mean, you ain't really did nothing. So he's like, here's what I did. I spoke to both camps. I'm not working with any one of these camps, and they listen to me. So I'm like, he's stepping into an arena that is foreign to him, and he's trying to take action. Now, what Roland did was, hey, y'all get together. I'm gonna exchange y'all information. Y'all work together. But I felt like Elisa was really condescending in her tone, the way she was talking to
Same.
and
Same. I got that same energy.
You gotta like chill out right now. One, this is he's a legend, a rapping legend. He's always been down with the community. Do you really think in your mind that this dude is trying to work with that was in like cahoots with the administration? So
right.
And another thing is like the timing of it. Okay, well, I feel like the timing of it was Trump's administration kind of like put there when they did their rally in Atlanta a few days ago, trying to say, oh, well, we got this platinum plan, not knowing that it's actually the template from Q's plan. But at least they're listening. And I know Biden's camp, they're like, hey, let's chat after the election. But Q was like, I'm willing to sit down with everyone, but you got to listen to the source, not listen to the media outlets, because CNN spinned it when he was on Kumo, and Q was like, I've been banned from CNN, and I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So here's the thing: I think Q is a brother to like the 1,000th power. Like he's never gonna. I mean, if you know his rap sheet, no pun, but he's, he ain't one to push around. You know what I'm saying? So like, even though he may not be articulate in the subject, at least he's putting in the action. But I challenge those that actually are part of the establishment, whether you're part of the CBC, you're a journalist, activist, whatever you want to call yourself, work with the brother. Y'all come together and let's get it. Because obviously his voice matters. He was able to get in and get a seat at the table virtually. And work with the brother. So I hope Alicia gets off of her, soapbox and like works with her.
Yeah.
What you tripping on? She was like, really?
For sure.
That's what I'm
saying.
saying.
This is not the time for us to be divided at all. This is not the time for us to be divided. This is not the time for us to be condescending. This is the time for us to say, hey, we have similar ideas. Let's collaborate. And I feel like that is always the biggest downfall with Black people. Our egos are too big to share the plate. Like there's a seat for everybody at the table. Right. We don't all just randomly have the same ideas. It comes from the care and concern of our community. So why not build together? If Cube has the platform and the money and you have the activism, join forces. It's not rocket science, it's collaboration. And that's why every other demographic always excels over us, because we don't get the basics right, Black people.
And I after watching that episode, I was like, I'm pretty sure she probably turned down that opportunity. Just the way her body language was, I'm like, yeah, she's probably not tripping on Q. It just seems like she was just not a fan at all. Like even without whatever he's pushing, she just was not a fan. And I'm like, yo, like, yeah, that was all bad. But I do hope at the end of the day that this wakes up Black America. And I like what Q phrased it. He was like, yo, this whole minority talk and this and that, like we're focusing on Black America.
Black people,
y'all put us in this generic terms, and we're being the ones that are erased out of the equation, and you're allowing to advance or get those opportunities. And it's like, yo, we have been, you name it, everything that's happened to us in this country for 400 years. And he's like, listen, we need action, and who's ever down to listen and take part, let's do it. And I hope that this also wakes up Black America to vote and do what's necessary, and not just at the larger level. We got a few weeks until November 3rd, but I really hope people pay attention and take a look at their voting booklet that has all the propositions, that has all the information that is needed for your local government, because that's like the key. Because those votes are what contributes to the controlling of the House, of the Senate, and everything that is needed. But it's really important that we focus on that. But I really hope that, there's some type of cohesiveness, if not with Alicia, some organization can give Q a seat at the table, and they can have those conversations. Maybe the CBC can be that group that sits down with them. Because like Roman was like, they've already established a plan. I'm like, well, dang, all this, and then I get it. The House and the Senate was turning it down, but I'm like, okay, well, we need to push it again, and let's add other people to the equation. So shout out, not just shout out to Q for putting his name out there, but also Killer Mike is another one who's in that same entertainment, music, artist that's like really pushing. Even at Killer Mike is at the local level in Atlanta, pushing it, and then he's also taking it to that next level as well. So those are two brothers that I got to give him shout outs that are really like trying to do everything possible.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, one of the things that I took away from what Ice Cube was saying was, regardless of who is in office, we can't use those 4 years to take a seat and wait for the person who we like to come in office and try to win them on what Black America needs. Like, we need to hold whoever is in the White House accountable for Black lives. And we've not done that. We wait for a Democrat to come in office, and then we want them to be our savior, which is whack. Whoever's in that White House is responsible for all Americans, Black Americans included. So we got to do better.
Economic equality is important in every administration.
Been going on for so long, you know what I'm saying? I just hope that it's going to be interesting. We got a few more weeks. It's going to be interesting. We in some interesting times, no doubt.
We are. It's definitely nerve-wracking.
So we gotta get ready for our favorite segment, sound off. Sound off.
I'm gonna go last because I don't have one.
Well, I'm gonna go because mine is like relevant right now. As you can see, I am LA all day. LA Dodger Blue, LA Lakers. So for those that tune in, hopefully by the time that you listen to this episode, the Dodgers win Game 7, which is tonight, Sunday, or Sunday afternoon. It's October 18th. But if they win tonight, they'll definitely be in the World Series. So just kind of foreshadowing that. And I'm also glad that the Houston Astros lost last night to the Tampa Bay Rays, because the Houston Astros cheated their way into the World Series and beat my Dodgers a few years ago. So I'm a big sports fan. I'm glad, because cheaters never prosper. You learn that at the lower level. Second, my Lakers, baby. We won number 17. Shout out to LeBron. AD's on the way. Anthony Davis, Dwight Howard, he redeemed himself in his career. He's definitely, first ballot Hall of Famer. But the entire squad, the GM, Rob Pelinka, Magic, working with them. And shout out to Jeannie Buss to be the first woman owner to ever win a championship in basketball. And I believe in major sports, that's a huge feat. She was able to keep the team strong. She was able to take the organization from out the ranks of her brothers, who were doing a terrible job. And, her father, the late, great Jim Buss, what I'm saying? Shout out to him as well. But this was for Kobe and Gianna, straight up. And, my prayers are with the Bryant family, Vanessa Bryant. But I'm glad that LeBron was able to pull off this. He's one of the few players to ever have a championship with 3 franchises. And he's done a great, deal of work within the community that he serves in Akron, Ohio, with his charter school and sending kids to college. He's just a great dude, and I'm proud of what they were able to accomplish, being that it was a shortened season in a pandemic. It was probably one of the hardest feats any team could ever pull off, because you were not playing in your usual environment. You were not playing in the usual circumstance in the season, and they pulled it off. It was a lopsided victory, but at the end of the day, it was a victory. Don't put an asterisk on it. Number 17, we tied with our rivals, the Boston Celtics, and purple and gold all day. You know what I'm saying? All day, every day. So, yeah, that's my sound off. Lakers all the way.
I would have liked to. I did watch one game, so shout out to Charlotte for actually watching a whole basketball game.
Tell them why you were watching the basketball game.
Jimmy Butler.
Okay. Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
Yeah. No disrespect to his baby's mom.
I was shocked when you text me. I was like, "You're actually watching the game?" I was like, "Okay, there has to be a reason. What's the backstory?" And I was like, "Okay, all right. You like Jimmy? Hey,
Whew.
she likes Jimmy buckets, y'all. She likes Jimmy buckets. But Jimmy put on a hey, shout out to Jimmy. He actually held it down. His style of play is something that as a sports fan, as a basketball fan, it's like old school basketball, like this is like gritty, tough, like
Street ball.
Man, the brother ain't shaved,
In your face.
All crazy.
Yeah.
He was just like, listen, I'm here to hoop. I don't care what none of y'all think. And, it was a tough, loss, but I think that hopefully the NBA season, can get back to its normal format. And I know the commissioner, Adam Silver, is trying to work it out to where teams can come back to their respective stadium. But it's going to be a tough NBA season. The Golden State Warriors are going to be like right there, like that itch.
Oh yeah.
So it's going to be interesting.
I forgot we did them.
Right.
I'm glad. That's one of the reasons why I stopped watching basketball. Is I was tired of seeing the same teams win every single year. It wasn't fun anymore.
Right. Nah,
I don't know if like real sports fans feel that way, but it was just like,
No, it's real. Like when I was growing up, it was the Chicago Bulls for me. I was like, damn, they won again. I'm like, damn, Mike. And then he went to baseball, and I was like, all right, cool. Mike get to come, chill. I actually respected Mike when he came back. But when he won back in the day, like those first three, I did not like that. One, he beat my Lakers in 91. And then 92, I wasn't really tripping because it was the Portland Trailblazers. And then the third one was against the Phoenix Suns. And I low-key liked the Phoenix Suns. I like Charles Barkley. And my Lakers are kind of like on the decline because it was like post-Magic Johnson. And then when Mike came back, actually, I enjoyed his game then because he was an older, stronger. And once again, I know Shar, once again, you actually did see a sports documentary, right, on Netflix, the Michael Jordan, right? We talked about it in our last dance. Yeah, you like that one. I know you loved it. So,
and I'm gonna watch the Hard Knocks too because I did watch a few years ago and I did like it. So really, I would like to watch to hear more about the Rams and the Chargers. I don't understand why there's two teams in LA. I just don't.
Money.
But maybe that'll be my sound off.
Yeah, but no, hey, let me know what you think of the show. I think you will enjoy it because you also get a chance to see how organizations ran, and then you get a chance to see like the lifestyles of these players. You're knowing how you are with reality TV. I will be expecting a call from you when you watch like episode 1 or 2.
Okay.
Being that you're an LA native, you're gonna enjoy it. I promise you. Anyways, that's my whole sports expound off. Lakers, LA Dodgers. Let's go World Series. Boom, boom, boom.
Antonio.
So my sound off, I have two. The first sound off is Jaguar Wright. What is wrong with you, Jaguar? Well, I only say that because I listened to what Talib had to say. And basically, Jaguar Wright is exposing a lot of music industry activities. So I don't know if she's bitter. I don't know if these are things that she's seen for her own eyes, which she says she has. But it's really like distasteful for her to really, say some of the things that she's saying. But the thing with Talib is that he actually had an intimate encounter with her. And so because he connected with her intimately, I feel like what he had to say, was pretty profound about her because you could see the levels of what he said about her and some of the stuff that she's saying. She's like,
what did she say?
Basically, she said that Mary J. Blige is a lesbian. Right. She said
you got tea. You said you hold him back.
Right. She said Alicia Keys was a lesbian. Right. She said that she was molested or raped by someone in the Roots, maybe Amir. She's claiming that something
Hey.
about Questlove. So it's a whole bunch of mess, right? It's just mess. And so that's really unfair.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Right?
You can't expose people's personal business. Like sexuality is personal.
Right.
That's too much.
And then the other thing that really annoys me is that she came up in the industry, but a lot of people don't know her. Like I don't really know her music, right? I think she came.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. The
Right.
name sounds familiar, but I can't think of one of her songs.
Right. She started late in the neo soul era, but she's a very talented singer and she can rap. Right. She can rap.
Okay, the only thing I remember from Jaguar Wright is her debuting at Jay-Z when he did Blueprint Unplugged on MTV. And that
Song
was
Pride.
the thing. And she actually did music, like she collaborated with the Roots. And I think she was part of the Soul Aquarians. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but
Right.
you know, she was like part of that new wave of neo soul artists in the early 2000s. But she's actually, if you go on YouTube, y'all, we can put it in the show notes. Jaguar Wright, she performed with Jay-Z on stage when he did the Blueprint Unplugged, which is like still one of the dopest Jay-Z albums.
The best ever.
Low key, I think I would bump
Yeah.
that on the way.
She's got like major ego and bitterness.
I low key, from watching her, I think that she suffers from some kind of mental issue, like
right. And she's
or skits or something. Because I seen her interview, she don't look upkept, and I'm just listen to her sound off. She was talking about I seen the Mary J. Blige stuff, but then it's like the source of who's interviewing, and you're just like just speaking on. And then I think she spoke on like Jay-Z and Beyonce, and I'm like, you know what? At this point, you're trying to like expose people for what good? Like your career, nobody knows who you are like that. Like you're, you know. But yeah.
Yeah, I just looked up her discography. I don't see anything familiar. Like even like a one hit record. Right. So she's not even a one hit wonder, no shade, but like.
Yeah, but she can sing. But the thing is, it's just, you know, just her having her outlet. I don't know, her voice. The other thing that annoyed me is that she's married, but she claims to be out as a lesbian. And so it's like, you know, just stay in your place.
Yeah, she got mental health issues. She's probably undiagnosed and not taking medications.
Right. So that's my first sound off. My second sound off is a shout out. I want to shout out to a producer named Hit Boy.
Oh,
from the IE.
Sir, IE.
He just his current work includes Nas, and Nas has the King's Disease, right? King's Disease, that's a hot album.
Hit Boy, that's his moniker.
And then Benny
the I'm Butcher. Sorry. Just for our non-California natives, the IE is the Inland Empire. It's a demographic in California, San Bernardino County, right above LA County for our non. Because we're worldwide now, baby. We got listeners all over the world.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
If you talk about the Inland Empire, you gotta throw out Riverside. Don't San Bernardino, man.
What is San Bernardino? Oh, is it Riverside? I don't know. IE. I'm sorry.
Right, right.
So Inland Empire is Riverside, San Bernardino County.
Okay. All right. My bad, Antonio.
Yeah,
shout out to Hit Boy. Benny the Butcher, Burden of Proof is hot right now.
Yes.
So I really enjoyed like his come up as a producer. He like my family knows him, my nephew and my nieces. So it's kind of refreshing to see a youngster out of LA, out of Inland Empire, make it in New York as a producer. That's kind of hot. So shout out to him.
In his discography and his artists, so Nas's album, the production is on point, by the way. But when I heard him on the Benny the Butcher album that came out on Friday, I'm like, man, this brother's like getting in and doing his thing. So yeah, and that's a dope shout out. Actually, I got 2 albums I'll be listening to today. I'm gonna do the King's Disease. I'm gonna do that Benny the Butcher again. I'm definitely gonna do that Jay-Z Unplugged. I'm gonna be bumping that in the golf cart. That's gonna be my golf cart. You know what I'm saying?
Tight.
All right, Sean.
Guys, I don't think I have a sound off. I can't think of anything that irritated me or annoyed me this week, which is surprising because I'm typically.
Talk about Deaf You.
I'm scared. I'm nervous. I don't want to offend anybody.
No, you
don't want to offend anybody.
This
Yeah,
we'll
that's
we'll
respect.
we'll add it to the show notes and let our listeners decide what they think about the show. So we'll put like
Oh, I do have a sound off. Okay. On Netflix, there's a show, a documentary called the American Murder, I believe, about yet again another husband who killed his wife and kids, his pregnant wife and kids.
wow.
Here's the issue that I have with that. Not necessarily the documentary, because it was very well produced. Go watch it. It's the white privilege behind it all, that every white man who kills his wife and kids thinks he can get away with it. And the thing that perplexes me about this narrative is it all ends the same way. Like, y'all always get caught. So why is it a shock when you're found out and you're taken to jail? Like, I don't understand why these men think that they can get away with murder. And it's always behind some mistress that they're having an affair with. And the mistress always says that they don't know about the wife, or they thought that they were divorcing. So my sound off is, why kill your wife and kids? Like, why not just get a divorce? I don't understand that logic.
I think that
Damn.
it's like rooted in some information. Not information. It's deeply rooted in some kind of trauma. And
Sociopathic for sure. They're definitely sociopaths. And here's the other thing. The families, like the wife's families, are always like, no, Scott would never hurt Nancy. We never saw that coming.
right.
And they always take him off. Like, he's never a suspect. He's always a suspect to like the law enforcement, but he's never a suspect to the family. So this man is that manipulative that he can convince not only his family, but the wife's family that he's innocent.
That's dope.
Scary.
That's dope. That's dope what you just said, Shar. But I think an underlying factor also is usually like insurance or some shit like that.
True. That's what, okay.
He's trying to get that insurance
Eureka.
money.
Duh. I'm like, why would just divorce her? Why
Right.
would you kill your kids?
Right.
Yeah,
And then what happens? Like, let's say you get away with it. The mistress is gonna wonder, like, oh, when am I gonna meet your kids? Never, because I killed it. Like, what is your? I don't get it. But here was the blower. Here was the blower of the entire episode. He did I don't want to spoil it. Okay. He ended up. Oh gosh. Okay. So we all found out that he was, because I don't want to spoil it. We all found out that he wasn't innocent. The detective rubbed him on the back, consoled him. Let that have been a black man.
Oh my goodness.
Innocent black men are painted monsters just based. Breonna Taylor is being painted as a monster. This man is an actual monster and received consolation after admitting to guilt. I don't understand
The logic.
I don't get it.
Man.
That's a tough one. I think that shows like that really expose the crime system in America, and
Right.
that's the reason why we have to get out there and vote.
Yeah.
Make sure that things like that don't apply, because it really does affect the people that are from our communities when things like that are applied. And I don't want to generalize, but they tend to not be our skin complexion when those things take place.
Yeah. Which is another reason why this whole Supreme Court justice nomination is very scary. I don't know if you guys have been listening to the hearings, but I'm not convinced that Amy Coney Barrett is the woman for the job.
Well,
at all. The fact that she's an originalist makes me nervous, because this country was built on thinking slavery was okay.
Right.
So I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Well, it's challenging the very foundation of what we're trying to change here in this country, and it's kind of washing away what Ruth Bader Ginsburg stood for, RBG.
Oh yeah.
Rest in power. And she made it very clear not to be replaced until after. And it just once again shows you why we need to make sure 45 is out, because he's doing everything against of the well wishes of the individuals who are the foundation And not just that nomination, but other things that can take place over the next like generations to come by putting people like that in office, because that is a job you have for life, right? So very interesting, very questioning type of individual. And then I think her name is Kayleigh McKinney, the current White House spokesperson. She got challenged by the fact that she went out of her way to say that the nominee, Amy, is a Rhodes Scholar. And if y'all don't know what Rhodes Scholars are, I definitely recommend you looking that up. But the journalist was like, yo, like, what was that coming from? She's not a Rhodes Scholar. Oh, she went to Rhodes College. Therefore, she's a Rhodes Scholar.
I swear to God, my twin 8-year-old niece and nephew could run this country better than what we have going on right now.
It's unbelievable. I'm telling you, the nerve, and like the fact that she had the nerve to say something like that takes away the very aspect of what a Rhodes Scholar is. And the fact that she said, well, she's a Rhodes Scholar because she went to Rhodes College. I was like, okay, it's just funny to me how they can spin things in their favor. And it's other people that are from certain communities. It's like, oh, well, that's what you are. You're not this.
Yeah.
And when it's them, it's like, oh, well, she's this, she's this. It's like, nah, man, y'all can't.
When I tell you because I did tune in. I typically don't like to watch a lot of those shows because there are a lot of political hearings or whatnot because they are triggering. But I just needed to know what was going on.
Oh, you
gotta enlighten yourself. You gotta be informed. Spinning, I was dizzy every single day. Like,
you were like,
you got going in circles. It was insane.
Nah, no doubt. And no doubt. That was a really good sound off segment. So sound off. So we're gonna go ahead and close the show. I'm just gonna go ahead and just drop a few things. We'll make sure to have a lot of things in our show notes for all of our listeners to make sure that they can tune in. Definitely check us out on our Patreon account. Definitely check us out on Instagram at the Convo Lounge. Check us out on YouTube at the Convo Lounge for all of our archived episodes. And also we are streaming on all platforms. We're now on Amazon Music. You always can check us out on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. And you can also find me at the Prosperous One on Instagram. That is the_prosperous_1. And for my dear host, co-host, what y'all shouted out, where they can find y'all at?
Yes, you can find me at char.rochelle. Don't forget to vote early and have a voting plan. In a lot of states, you can vote now. So
you can mail it in.
Get out there and vote.
Yeah.
Yeah, also feel vote. And you can find me at Antonio Crow Clothing on Instagram and the Convo Lounge.
All right, y'all. Well, thank you once again for joining us on this episode. Enjoy.
Peace, love, and light.
Peace.